Well, welcome viewers. It's happened again overnight in Lancashire. A 17-year-old girl's been stabbed. She was seriously injured after being stabbed in broad daylight on Wood Street, Bearfield, Lancashire, England. What happened? Emergency services responded to reports of a stabbing in Bearfield. The victim of a 17-year-old girl suffered stab wounds to the back of the neck. She was transported to hospital for treatment. Police later stated her injuries were serious but not believed to be life-threatening at this stage. She has reportedly since been discharged and is recovering with family support. Police response: armed and local police attended the scene. A 30-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. Authorities confirmed there were no outstanding suspects being sought. Additional police patrols were deployed in the area to reassure the public. Investigation status. The investigation remains active. Police have not publicly disclosed a motive. Authorities have stated they have found no evidence at this stage that the attack was racially motivated. Well, we're not even going to pay attention to that. Detectives continue to gather witness statements, CCTV footage and forensic evidence. Community impact. The incident has generated significant concern on top of the momentum caused by previous stabbings. Because the attack occurred in daylight, the victim was a teenager, it took place in a public street setting, which means they're becoming more blatant and brazen, and residents report shock and anxiety following the event. At present, many further details remain unconfirmed, and it would be inappropriate to speculate any further, but it is believed that it was an Afghan national that performed this heinous, murderous attack.
Do you know what it's like to walk down the street with your heart thudding against your chest because a weird man is following you? Do you know how it feels as a woman to get on the tube and have leering men stare at you from another culture? Do you have any idea what it's like to live in perpetual anxiety because there are lots of men from violent, misogynistic countries prowling around our streets? Do you have any idea what it is like to start becoming desensitized to yet another stabbing, an attempted beheading, a gang rape, a sex attack? Do you have any idea? Or is it that you live in your ivory towers with your secure cavalcade of vehicles, so it doesn't matter, it doesn't affect you, it doesn't affect your family? We pay for your protection. Why aren't you protecting us? How many more stabbings, beheadings, rapes, sex attacks? How many more? Until you do something, until you get behind a podium and you speak to your people and you explain to them the urgent measures you are going to take to protect us. How many more incidents and events until you wake up and face the reality of the vandalism that has been done to this country, how unsafe our streets are? How many more? It's a simple question, and you need to answer it, because I'm fed up. I'm fed up with the gaslighting. I'm fed up with every time there's an incident like this, instead of addressing the issues, instead of coming up with a plan to get these people out of the country, lock them up and make sure they can't roam the streets, prevent them from leaving the military bases you're now putting them in, the HMOs, the hotels. What are you going to do about this? This is a national emergency. This is a crisis. And you would rather point the finger of blame at politicians who do want to address this, saying that they're using it to push a divisive narrative, that their rhetoric is too extreme. There is no rhetoric that is extreme enough when it comes to people being murdered in broad daylight by savages that you have imported from a foreign land. How much more do you think we, the British people, can take? Because I'm telling you, we are cracking. The strain is too much. I feel like now we have to brace ourselves for continued rioting, unrest throughout summer, a summer of discontent. So that's great. Not only do we have to worry about who might try and attack us in the street, steal our phone, sexually abuse our daughters, we've also got to worry now about the reaction to that. And what are you doing? Where are you? What is your plan? Yeah, I thought so. You don't have one. Oh, this.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with more with anything that you've just said. I'm just reading the police statement here. This thing happened at 3 minutes in the afternoon.
In a random place in Lancashire, not, central London 3 in the morning.
Literally in the middle of the afternoon. It's not even in a dark alleyway at 2 a.m. This is in the middle of the afternoon. Then the police have the audacity to say these aren't life-changing injuries. Are you telling me this girl is going to be perfectly fine from now on? Her life has been damaged beyond repair. She's been stabbed by a person in the back of the neck, and yet we're supposed to say, that's fine, it's just a flesh wound. Are you kidding me? And more important, the bit I really hated is, extra patrols are on the weekend. What happens after the weekend?
Right.
What happens after the weekend?
Also, no doubt, so, when we learn he's going to be a, 30-year-old man from, some Lancashire town. No, he's not.
No, he's not.
No, he's blimmin' not. I hate the way they do that.
I can't stand it.
When it says, 4 men were arrested today for sexually assaulting someone on Brighton Beach. The men who are all from, Swindon.
Yeah.
And no, they're not.
Yeah.
Oh.
And yet, you're so right. We now have to be so terrified of the reaction to this because it is so predictable. And yet again, it is the establishment that have created this because you won't be honest with people. They not only do these tricks where they kind of gaslight us, they withhold information. I go back to the super injunction that the former government used to silence judges and courts and journalists from reporting the fact we brought in thousands of people from Afghanistan and we don't know who they are.
Right.
And they don't have any right to work. They don't need to work. They don't need to do anything. We don't know who these people are. And yet again, it is people who live here just wanting to get on with their day, on with their life, that have to now walk in fear.
What amazes me is this pathetic, sick government would rather legislate over dangerous dogs, XL bullies, not that I'm a fan of them, but not over dangerous men.
Oh.
Why are they allowed out their blimmin' hotels? That's what I understand. They've got security on the door, so people like you and I can't go in and see what's going on in there.
Yeah.
Why are they roaming our streets? Who are they?
Well, God knows at this point.
They're liars, they're chancers. At the very least, they have broken the law by paying people traffickers, involving themselves with international criminal cartels and terrorist organisations in order to get to Britain in the first place.
There's not many people that haven't got, a bit of a dodgy side that could make it across a continent into the UK. Let's be real, the travel that these people have gone, that journey is not easy.
Yes.
So you've got to have a little bit of wits and probably a violent streak to you.
Yes, you've got to be a tough person if you're going to be trafficked across a desert in the back of a pickup by some men with giant beards holding AK-47s.
We wonder why there's no women and children do it, because they couldn't survive it.
Do you know, I'm glad you said that, because I was actually speaking to a great friend of mine who was in the SAS in intelligence and now does a lot to actually prevent the trafficking of women and girls. And he was telling me that along these migratory routes, even if women and children start out, they're just taken out of the pack and sold into sex slavery.
Yeah. I think the kids get...
That's what you're funding. Yeah. That's what not doing something about this situation...
You want to talk about human rights?
Yeah, staying in the ECHR is causing this.
Yeah. Without a doubt. And kids, it's one of the things I read, organ harvesting.
Organ harvesting, yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Organ harvesting. Kids.
So the women are either, at the very best they can hope for, they become, sold in the domestic slave market. The worst is they are trafficked and become sex slaves. And you're right, children murdered for their organs.
Yeah.
And that is what not doing something about this. That's what it's causing. It is not kind. It is not nice to continue enabling this mass migratory flow of people.
Yeah.
It's not the right thing to do, as Starmer likes to say.
And God knows what this money is that, these people smugglers, where that money is going, because they're being bankrolled as well. And who are bankrolling those people? People would, do a lot nasty things in this country.
Yeah.
And it is all part of one big ecosystem. And we are continuing to fund it with taxpayer money.
Yeah.
The incident happened on the afternoon of June 12 inches, Briarfield, Lancashire, after emergency services received reports of an assault and stabbing on Wood Street. According to police, a 17-year-old girl suffered a stab wound to the back of her neck and was rushed to hospital for treatment. Thankfully, authorities later confirmed that her injuries were not considered life-threatening or life-changing. She has since been discharged and is now recovering at home with her family. Police quickly responded to the scene, and a 30-year-old man from Briarfield was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder shortly afterward. The case has attracted major attention in the local community, with residents expressing concern over what happened. Local MP Oliver Ryan described the incident as traumatic and urged people not to spread unverified information online while the investigation continues.
About that.
Yeah,
we are defenceless.
Our defence is gone. The police are more funded.
We can't even fight.
We've not even got an army anymore. It's all gone.
Police. I know.
Yeah.
We've got more police than soldiers.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Right. Let's go. Right, guys, we are going to have to end the live.
And that is based. Oh, my mic's down. Sorry. Boop. Yeah, aim not to get nicked, because that's how they punish you. They can't really they'll trump up charges. They'll just trump it up. Look at what happened to the Southampton protesters.
Yeah.
One of the lads threw a stone, didn't even hit anybody.
Got nearly 3 years.
And he's got like 3 years. And that'll be on his record for ages, like violent disorder. And it might ruin his job prospects. It's just disgusting. And that officer he's obviously heard of Henry Novak. Obviously every single police officer in the country has been briefed on that situation. Yep. Surely.
Yep.
Surely, right? Yep. I'm not crazy for thinking that, am I?
No, they will have to have been.
It wound me up again hearing it that he said he didn't know who it was. It just wound me up again. I was like, why would you say that and then say you know who George Floyd is? Why would you do that? They just, I don't know what other word to give them, but they're just traitors. He was happy. He was happy about that situation. He was like...
Yeah, it was. This was earlier today in Liverpool.
You hated the Queen, but you didn't realise... I didn't hate the Queen. Who said I hated the Queen? Evening, ladies. Another death. 86. Yeah, that's not exactly breaking news, but it is another disgusting situation where it was a beheading, wasn't it? Someone beheaded an old lady. It doesn't get any worse than that.
Yeah.
It happened in England a few.
No, you're tired. You're being silly now. Yeah.
We'll come off soon anyway.
Come on.
You guys want to see some Brighton footage? You said before we go.
Come on now.
Damn, the Burnley stuff as well. Is Burnley still going?
Let's have a quick look in it.
We'll have a quick look if Burnley's still going. And if you guys want to see some of the Brighton footage of AY audits, absolutely giving it to everyone. Put a Y in the chat for yes.
I'll just put AY.